Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fashion Algorithm, where we like to, take a deep dive into the fashion world. And today,
Mhm.
it's Shein.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's all over social media,
Yeah.
and it's a really interesting story.
Absolutely.
So we've got like a ton of sources for this one. We've got company profiles, we've got YouTube interviews,
Mm.
influencer commentary, all kinds of stuff. And the big question that we want to answer in this deep dive
Mhm.
is, how did this company get so big so fast?
Right.
And what does it mean for the future of fashion? What can we learn from Shein?
Mhm.
Oh, and before I forget, our sponsor for this episode is CloutFit.ai.
Cloutfit, not AI.
Yeah, so they're a fashion tech company, B2B.
Mhm.
And they were founded by like some real veterans in the industry. Like we're talking the former CPO and CTO, some major fashion e-commerce companies. So they really know their stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And CloutFit.ai uses AI to boost user engagement and increase revenue for their clients.
Yeah.
And look, if you found this deep dive useful, maybe share it with someone who's also into fashion tech.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so back to Shane. Their journey is this really interesting mix of innovation and controversy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, to really understand how they got to where they are today,
Mhm.
you got to go back to their roots.
Yeah, back in 2008,
2008.
they were just this little tiny website selling
What?
wedding dresses.
Wedding dresses.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not exactly what you think of when you think of a global fashion powerhouse.
Right.
But look at them now. It's 2025. They're valued at like $100 billion.
100 billion.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy.
And the guy behind it all, Chris Xu, he's like this mysterious figure,
Yeah.
former SEO specialist, super interesting background,
Yeah.
but he really avoids the spotlight.
He does.
It's like nobody really knows much about him,
Mhm.
but he's obviously got a brilliant mind for business.
Right. And that SEO background, that's got to be part of how Shein is just everywhere online.
Oh, totally.
Like you're scrolling and boom, there they are.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, they even overtook Amazon as the most downloaded shopping app in the U.S.
Crazy, right?
It's huge. In the land of Amazon,
Exactly.
it's like conquering Mount Everest. So how did they do it?
Well, part of it is this whole real-time retail thing that they've got going on.
Okay, break that down for me, real-time retail.
So they're constantly analyzing data trends,
Yeah.
trying to predict what's going to be hot next.
Mm.
But instead of like mass producing everything, they make these small batches.
So they're not taking as much risk.
Exactly. And then if something starts selling like crazy, they ramp up production.
So smart.
It's like they're reading our minds, but it's all algorithms and consumer behavior data.
Fascinating. So they're like the opposite of those fast fashion brands that end up with tons of unsold clothes.
Yeah.
They're minimizing waste.
Their unsold inventory rate is tiny, like single digits. Compared to traditional retailers, it's like 25 to 35%.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Huge difference.
Okay, let's talk about choice, because Shein is like the land of endless options
Oh, yeah.
and incredibly low prices.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fashion wonderland.
Right. You can find anything.
Seriously,
Mm-hmm.
from streetwear to evening gowns, all on a budget.
It's tempting, right?
Super tempting.
Yeah.
But is it real choice? Or is it just like really clever marketing for cheap fashion?
I think that's a big part of the whole fast fashion debate, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
One of Shein's execs, this guy Donald Tang, he says their whole brand is about choice. They're giving customers exactly what they want, not what some designer dictates.
Interesting.
It's power to the people,
The power of the shopper.
Exactly. It's an interesting argument. But does all that choice, I don't know, maybe it's too much.
Right. Is it actually good for us? Are we just like impulse buying all the time?
Yeah, maybe.
And then there's how can they offer such low prices?
Well, their whole system is built on data, algorithms, suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sophisticated. They're collecting information all the time, analyzing trends.
Sort of like optimizing everything.
Yeah, the whole supply chain. Like, remember that crazy stat, 3,000 to 4,000 new products every single day?
It's wild. I can't even wrap my head around it.
It's like an entire department store every day.
Wow. How do they
Yeah.
even keep up with the quality control?
Right. But it does show you how technology is changing everything about fashion.
Totally.
And that's where a company like CloutFit.ai comes in.
Right, our sponsor.
They're using AI to help brands figure out what their customers really want.
It's like they're bridging that gap between like the data and the actual design process.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's be real. Shein has had its fair share of controversy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fast fashion in general has this whole dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Environmental impact, labor practices, ethical sourcing, all of that.
And with Shein being so fast-paced,
Right.
it kind of magnifies those issues.
There have been accusations of them copying designs,
Yeah.
questionable labor conditions,
Yeah.
environmental concerns.
It makes you think,
Yeah, that cute top you just bought
Right.
was a real cost.
Like,
Shein has said they're working on these issues.
yeah, they have a supplier code of conduct. They're investing in better factory standards.
But is it enough?
It's tough to say. Can a company that moves this fast really be ethical?
Right. It's a real dilemma for consumers, too.
Yeah.
Do we prioritize ethics or affordability?
Mm.
Or is there like a middle ground?
I think that's what everyone's trying to figure out.
So on top of all this, Shein is also going global.
Yeah, big time.
And they've got this interesting strategy.
Local, global, local.
Global, local, local. What does that even mean?
So basically, they want to be this global brand,
Okay.
but they also want to, tailor things to different cultures.
So it's not just like a one-size-fits-all approach.
No, they're adapting their marketing, even their products, to fit in with local tastes.
So they're a global citizen, but they speak the local fashion language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working. Like in the UK, they actually do more business in rural areas than they do in London.
Wow, that's interesting. So they're reaching these consumers that maybe other brands have ignored,
Mm-hmm.
but all this attention has put them under a microscope. And now with the IPO coming up.
Things are going to get even more intense.
Yeah, going public means more transparency, more scrutiny.
They'll have to answer to shareholders.
Right.
Address all these concerns from activists and consumers.
Prove that they're serious about ethics and sustainability.
It's a big step.
It's like they're stepping onto this giant stage with a spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
No more hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Can they change, with all this pressure?
Right. Can they make fast fashion ethical?
Ugh, that's the big question.
And is it just Shine, or is this like a bigger trend? Are consumers just demanding more and more new stuff all the time?
That's part of it, for sure. But it raises some serious questions,
Sustainability?
about the environment, about how much we consume. Like, can we keep doing this?
Yeah, as shoppers, we got to think about these things.
Definitely.
It's easy to get excited about a new outfit, but there's a whole other side to it.
Right. Like, are we really valuing quality? Are we just chasing trends?
And do we really need to buy something new for every single event?
Maybe it's time to, slow down a bit.
Yeah, think more about our wardrobes.
Buy less. Choose quality over quantity.
Maybe even mend things or, upcycle.
Yeah, there's so many alternatives to just constantly buying new stuff.
And there's some amazing sustainable brands out there.
Yeah, it's good to see that side of the industry growing.
Yeah, Shein, it's a complicated story.
Definitely.
They've totally shaken things up.
Mm-hmm.
But can they adapt to this new world?
Yeah, will the IPO force them to be more transparent?
Or will they just keep doing what they're doing?
Time will tell.
Shein's story, it's a reflection of the whole fashion industry.
Yeah, all the challenges, all the possibilities.
It's up to us as consumers to decide what we want the future of fashion to look like.
Exactly. Like, are we okay with prioritizing speed and low prices?
Or are we willing to pay more for things that are ethical and sustainable?
Every purchase we make is a choice.
It's a vote for the kind of world we want to live in.
So think about that the next time you're online shopping.
Yeah, every click matters.
This has been a fascinating deep dive.
Totally. So many things to consider.
If you want to learn more about the tech side of things,
Definitely check out our sponsor, cloutfit.ai.
they're doing some really cool stuff with AI.
And be sure to subscribe to the Fashion Algorithm for more deep dives like this one.
We're exploring the future of fashion one episode at a time.
Until next time, keep learning and keep those fashion algorithms guessing.